with me for the first time. My name is Alfred Okuonzi, District Chairman, Arua District. I would like to say that big thanks to city leadership for keeping the gates wide open for us to come in and attending this wonderful council call. This is a clear manifestation that the relationship between city and district is like the relationship between feces and urine. Very, very inseparable. You cannot separate one from the other. So we'll continue to exist like this, and that's why I'm saying thank you to you for keeping the gate wide open. I would like to thank Aga Khan for all that they have done to us in the Arua City and Arua District. I have been kept in the know of every proceedings that you've been undertaking. I want to say that you are all aware that His Excellency is visiting us next week. And we are on high gear preparing for his coming. Right now there's a big training going on in the boardroom, but of the two, the Aga Khan meeting here and that preparation which is going on, I decided to choose this particular one because Cow convinced me. He said, please, Chairman, we have not been given time to attend to Aga Khan presentation so much. So I said today I'm going to give my time, and that's why I sat here as a student to listen from beginning up to the end. We were saying that Madrasa was approached by the mayor by then, but that is our cardinal role as leaders of entities to initiate projects, to bring in place projects. And I think he did his part of initiating this project here. Definitely, we have to look for many more projects to be brought here. What does this mean? Aga Khan and Madrasa, if there are some openings there, you tell the current leaders to go and approach those offices so that we bring some of those projects, just like our colleague did before. Wait. Sorry. This is one that they put it on now. We are scared. Somebody mentioned we are talking about, we are now in the phase of implementing National Development Plan 3, which runs up to 2025. And in National Development Plan 3, on page 168, you realize that it's talking about human capital development in this country. And what is key in that is that the human capital development, the human resource for this country, is so much dependent on two factors: education and health. Education and health. So if we do nothing about education, then that determines the kind of labor and manpower that we shall have for the development of this country in the future. So we have to do this as much as possible, without fear or favor, and make sure we produce the quality human resource capital for this country. You all know what it means. Now I want to talk about Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which talks about quality education. And I take you to the indicators of quality education. The indicator number 4.2 talks about access to ECD services. Access to ECD services. So that features there in Sustainable Development Goals. So we are not here by mistake. We are contributing towards the Sustainable Development Goals. We are also contributing towards NDP 3. And therefore, without fear or favor, as government leader, I am bound to make a statement that Aga Khan and Madrasa are key contributors to attainment of national development plan. Okay? You are contributing towards attainment of the goals of National Development Plan 3. You are also a key contributor towards the attainment of Sustainable Development Goal. Okay, number 4, which talks about quality education. These are aimed to be achieved by 2030 and 2025. So we want to thank you so much for supporting government of Uganda in this area. We are talking about the policy direction. When my principal was talking about policy direction and also my inspector was talking about this, I said these people know their jobs. They really know their jobs. Why are we here? We are speaking to bishops. We are talking to bishops. Aga Khan, we needed now another category of people to take this message. Because ECD Policy 2018, Early Childhood Development Policy 2018, it sets the direction. It's very, very clear. It sets the direction for implementation of ECD services in this country. It has also gone as far as addressing the issues of sustainability. Now, what is missing link? If government is recognizing ECD as foundational level of education, very, very foundational level of education, and if it has come with the policy direction, what is now missing link? The missing link is we have to draw the attention of government towards implementation of this policy guideline, the ECD policy of 2018. We have to implement. And one of the critical things brought in the policy direction is that at district level, there must be in education office somebody as a focal person for ECD. Have we implemented this? No. It's addressing the sustainability aspect. Then somewhere it is also talking about that the role of local government is to plan for implementation of sustainable development goals. Now again, the policy also talks about this government will do it in partnership with non-state actors. This is where Aga Khan features very, very prominent. So I must say, how lucky am I today in this meeting? You see, I like visions so much. What is the vision of the policy saying? The vision of the policy is saying a country where all children have access to quality ECD services. A country where all children have access to quality ECD services. That is the vision of the country. So the only thing we need to make is to make government to live to that call, to live to the statement, and make sure that our children have access to this. And of course, the mission statement and the other things, they are all there embedded. I implore, I call upon you, each and every one of us, let's go and read it. Foundational level of education starts from ECD. It starts from ECD. There's no question about that. Scientifically, many of you know my background, I'm a scientist. Scientifically, the first 5 years of life are referred to as first year of life. From birth up to 5 years is referred to as first year of life. Now, a child's experiences within the first year of life, the first 5 years of life, has a significant impact on the development of the child. So, if we temper, if we don't do much within the first year of life, we shall be raising something similar to a child, but not a real child. Something similar to a human being, but not a real human being. And I think it is happening right now. If you look at the kind of children we have now, there's a lot of complaint about children. So let's take our minds back. What was the first 5 years of this children's life? The first year of life. What was it like? We are talking about children not performing very well, even when teachers have upgraded. But why are children not performing? Even when that time teachers were UTs, the rate at which children were passing was very well. But what is happening now, even when teachers have upgraded, life has improved. That time we were sleeping on papyrus mats. And today I'm challenging government. Maybe these children produced on mattress, they are the cause of the problem. They are not finding challenges. But we who were produced on papyrus mats, on reeds, were able to be the kind of persons we are. People are complaining now. So that means we have to take our minds back. Let's take ourselves back. What went wrong? What really went well? What went wrong? And therefore we need to start from there. I want to say, Aga Khan, thank you so much for supporting us. We are aware that our people have very little knowledge on ECD. Very little knowledge on ECD. Very, very little. They think that spending on paying of ECD school fees is a waste of resource. It is useless. We rather wait for our child to go to P1. That's what they are saying. So they don't. Even only 25%, research is showing that 25% of our parents are able to know, they are able to recognize the importance of ECD. Only 25, which means 75% are ignorant. They are producing children all right, but they don't know. So we have a big, big problem, my colleague, we have a big problem outside there to go and talk to our people. And that is why when members were saying, let's do sensitization, civic awareness, let's raise awareness levels of our people, it's to bridge that gap of 75% not recognizing the importance of ECD. So what are we doing? We're in a big problem. I think now I want to say that we have to make parents to understand and recognize the importance of this. You see, there are 5 bulbs. That first year of life, 5 years, back to 5 years. The bulb of remembering, the bulb of perceiving, the bulb of thinking, the bulb of retrieving, the bulb of recognizing. The 5 R's get blown if there's any problem with the child within those 5 years. So those 5 bulbs, if any one of them is blown away, are you going to have a very, very reliable and dependent child in future? No, definitely not. This child will instead be dependent on you. Even when the child gets married, will depend on you as the parent. So that is it. So we're scratching our heads here. Children are not passing. Cow also mentioned about it. It also happened in France. And the researchers were subjected to find out why. The result revealed that the children failed to gain weight in 3 consecutive months. And this affected the performance of the children in the results. And that is why we have this problem. So I must say, it's a big challenge and we need to work on it. On the ground, we have inadequate number of caregivers. The caregivers are not enough. We have inadequate number of ECD centers. Let's separate ECD centers from nursery schools. We are using the words, my principle is that nursery is, to me, it's different, very different from the ECD centers. The ECD centers are really scientific, but the nursery schools were just meant for those colonialists. And are we still having colonialists here? As such, we are still referring to nursery schools? No. So we need to improve on these areas as much as possible. We need to increase on the number of our caregivers. Somebody mentioned the low esteem status of our caregivers. It is true. And it goes back to principle. What is the standard? Are you admitting those who got F9 in English to ECD centers. What are you doing? You listen to the English spoken by caregivers and assess their level of self-esteem. You will realize that there must have been a problem somewhere. I think that is where we need to look at. Why should they have low self-esteem? Why should their English come out with difficulties? Why? Why? We need to address that area. Recruitment into the enrollment into the training centers. We need to have an eye on that. So that if something is foundational, then the enrollment must be quality one to give a very good foundation for us. I want to talk about, we are talking about ECD. I'm happy we are also adding up to 8 years, which means P1, P2, P3 are part of ECD, which is very good. But she also challenged it. What about the teachers of P1, P2, P3? Are they having the heart of the caregivers? Because they are called teachers. The ones for ECD are called caregivers. That was my understanding very, very fast here. So, those ones are called teachers. These ones are called caregivers. What about the perception, the understanding? Is it at the same level or not? So we need to look at that very, very critically. And the other thing is, if you want to have very good children in ECD, then we must address the pre-pregnancy. The pre-pregnancy component. Let's prepare these girls properly. This business of teenage pregnancies, which is on increase, is also going to make us not to have very good children, bouncing children in ECD. We would rather start with the rehabilitation center than having ECD centers. We would rather start with that. So let's work so much, let's invest in the area of pre-pregnancy. Because after pre-pregnancy, then the state is pregnancy. After pregnancy is ECD. That fits very, very well. So I think I could talk. We talked about sensitization and so forth. I don't want to mention it. But finally, I want to challenge us. Are we keeping track of our children who pass through ECD? Are we? Because I want us to build a case to put government first. Okay? These ones who pass in first grade, did they pass through ECD? So are our caregivers keeping track of these children who pass through ECD? And then we compare their performance to those who did not go through ECD. So that we build a case that's so scientific. So what is happening? Are we keeping track of them? Where have they reached? To the best of my knowledge, children who pass through ECD, they are very, very bright. They have low levels of repetition. Okay? They have very high level of passes. They pass in very good grades. There's no level, there's no repetition. And then that means that even in future, there can be possibility of securing a very good job. When you secure a very good job, then you know that revenue for the government will improve. Others will go outside, others will be within. They will be paying taxes to the country. So are we keeping track of those children? If not, I would say as chairman, let's keep track of those children who pass through ECD. Monitor them. Why? Because we are talking about dropout rate in upper primary. My expectation is quite different. These children who pass through ECD centers should not register dropouts when they reach upper classes. Why? They are very bright, they are brilliant, they can speak English very, very well. And nothing stresses them. The parents are already trained in that direction. Why should we have very few girls in upper primary? Why should we have few children enrolled in upper classes? Why? So it goes back to ECD. Please, I want to see that we produce a report in that area. That will be another area for research principle. Yeah, for students, take their minds that direction to do research on children who passed it through ECD 7 years ago, where have they reached? 10 years ago, where have they reached? And then let's measure even up to secondary, up to A level, where have they reached? Take 15 years down the road. So you produce a what? A research. Well researched. And then you draw the attention of government to that attention. Members, I will talk. But goes back to principle. I want a system in the city, in the district, those who pass ECD should go to a primary. That should comprise of children who passed through ECD, so that we see what is happening. Because now in ECD they are taught in what we call vowels, A, E, R, A, E, O. What is that called? Vowels. They are taught in vowels. Yes. Yes. A, B, C, D. Then for those who did not go through ECD, they are taught in using A, Ba, Ta, Da, E, Fa, Ga. In P1. The child from ECD you send to P1, you are sending the child to be confused. The child is going to be confused. This teacher was saying like this, we read A, B, C, D. But this one is now saying A, Ba, Ta, Da. Which one is which? So you understand, I would love to see that P1, P2, P3 as a continuation of ECD, so that we see what comes next. Then as I could talk and talk, I want to say thank you so much, City, for recognizing me. Aga Khan, thank you so much for recognizing me to deliver the closing remarks, which is very rare for people in this region to do in a council hall like this. I want to say with all that I have said, this one-day meeting is not closed but adjourned for God and my